Hey there, welcome back to the athomedive YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joey and today we're in the kitchen doing something fantastic. As we all know, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. It's just around the corner. And Guinness is gonna be flowing all around the world. So today, we're gonna be making Guinness cupcakes because nothing goes better with a Guinness Stout than chocolate cupcakes. So sit back, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. This recipe comes together really fast. So today we're gonna go ahead and preset our oven to 350 degrees and put our cupcake liners right into our cupcake pan before we even get started. Today on the counter we have a really simple list of ingredients here and nothing that you're not gonna be familiar with. So we're gonna start with 8 ounces of Guinness Stout beer, 8 ounces of butter, 2 cups of granulated white sugar, 3/4 cup of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 2 large eggs, 2 cups of AP flour, 3/4 cup of non-sweetened cocoa powder, and 2.5 teaspoons of baking soda. And that's all we're really gonna need for the cupcakes themselves. We'll go over the icing later. Let's get started. So in a small pot on the stove, I'm gonna go ahead and place the butter and the Guinness and turn it on to low heat just to let the butter melt. Once the butter's fully melted, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the sugar and the cocoa powder and let them dissolve fully.
Moments later.
When I'm stirring this, I'm dragging the spatula along the bottom of the pan to see if I can feel any granules of sugar that are left yet to dissolve. Right now, they have all pretty well gone away, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and let it sit and cool for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, this is a great time to go ahead and take our flour and sift our baking soda into it. I do this so that there are no clumps, particularly with leavening agents, because we want to make sure they rise evenly. Now we can set that aside. Now I'm going to take a separate bowl and add in the sour cream. I'm also going to add the eggs and the vanilla. Now we can take a mixer and beat these on low, just until they're nice incorporated.
A few moments later.
Now with the mixer running, I'm gonna slowly add the chocolate mix in and make sure it mixes fully. You don't have to go crazy, you just wanna get it incorporated. Now I'm gonna take the flour mixture and I'm gonna add about half of it, or about 1 cup, since we know there is 2 cups. And now I'm gonna go ahead and mix this until fully incorporated and then add the other half the flour. Now it's time to fill the cupcake liners. I like to fill mine about 2/3 of the way up the sides. Make sure you don't overfill them, because if you do, you're gonna end up with a giant mess. Honestly, I always end up with a mess anyway whenever I go to fill cupcake liners, but if you overfill it, you'll end up with a really big mess. It never hurts to go back and wipe up the edges of your cupcake pans just a little bit before you bake them. You don't have to do this obviously, but it's a lot easier to wipe off now than after you've baked it on there. Now it's time to put these in the oven, 350 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes.
A little later.
So we're back, it's been about 15 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and give the cupcakes the toothpick test. I'm gonna slowly insert it into the center of the cupcake, and when it comes out, it is perfectly clean. Just to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead and check a couple more. they all came out clean. So I'm gonna let these sit here in the pan for about 5 minutes, and then I'll remove them from the pan and let them cool completely. So it's been about 5 minutes and these have had a chance to cool off just a little bit, but they're not cooled all the way. So I am gonna remove them from the pan and let them finish cooling on a different tray. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bake off the other dozen cupcakes. All right, so the cupcakes are almost cooled, so we're gonna move on to making the icing. So in this bowl, I have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and 4 ounces of softened butter. These aren't quite to room temperature, but they're certainly on their way. We've also got 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and over here I have 500 grams, which is the equivalent to 4 cups of icing sugar or powdered sugar. So let's get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is take the salt and add it to the butter and the cream cheese. And then I'm gonna set these things aside. I'm gonna take my mixer and beat these on medium until they're smooth. This could take a little while.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in the vanilla extract and mix this until it's incorporated. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in the mentioned powdered sugar. Once you've added this, start mixing really slow, that way you don't make a big mess.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
And just like anything else, it never hurts to go ahead and rake down the sides. So here's our icing. Here I've just placed a piping bag into a glass. I'm just gonna scoop as much of this in there as I can get to fit for now. From there, that'll make it easy to put on top of the cupcakes. All right, so here's our icing in a piping bag. Let's go ahead and scoop these things out of the way and grab the cupcakes. So here are our 2 dozen cupcakes. And we're gonna go ahead and just take the piping bag and go around and put a little bit of icing on top of each one. You can also take just a little bit of cocoa powder in a strainer and go back through and lightly dust some of these if you would like to. This is totally optional, but it does give it a nice bit of color on top to make contrast. These are our beautiful cupcakes, some with and some without the dusting, but they all look fantastic and delicious. So that's how we make Guinness cupcakes. All right, well that wraps us up on how to make Guinness Stout Cupcakes. Comment below and let me know how yours turned out. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Have a happy and safe St. Patty's Day.